Episode 5. Everyone began training at Alpha Nolan's words. Sean sent me one last pity and panic-filled glance before he turned back to his opponent. I huffed and turned to look at Alpha Nolan. I wanted a good look at the guy. Much to my dismay, my jaw dropped. Alpha Nolan had to have been the most attractive male I had ever seen. His hair was the color of molten chocolate, short but also intoxicatingly messy. I tried not to drool as he slipped his shirt off, revealing a scarred but chiseled chest. "Close your mouth, Daisy." Alpha Nolan snapped, and I rolled my eyes at him. I could hear the growl rumble in his chest, and I mentally slapped myself. "You really shouldn't keep pissing the dude off. You're about to fight him." Maya sighed, but I could tell she was enjoying my resistance. Yeah, I know," I grumbled. Before I had the chance to react, Alpha Nolan had launched himself at me. I grunted as his fist connected with my stomach, forcing me backwards. I could feel myself losing balance as he came in for another strike. I let gravity take me backwards and rolled out of his way just in time to dodge another punch. I got to my feet and shook off the pain. This was the same as training with Chris. I could do this. I couldn't let his impeccable godlike looks distract me. I watched as he lunged forward, his arm extending to throw a punch. I feigned turning left only to roll under his legs and launch myself at his back. I clung to his back for dear life. At one point, I almost started laughing. I was like a miniature backpack on him. I jumped off his back just in time for him to roll across the ground. "That would have hurt," Maya muttered, knowing he intended to do that with us still locked on his back. "If that hurt Alpha Nolan, he showed no signs of it." "You're fast," Alpha Nolan pointed out, throwing a couple more hits to my face and body, which thankfully I managed to dodge. This guy was fast. Faster than Chris, and that was really saying something. "I am. And you hit hard." I snapped, dodging another punch. I didn't move fast enough, and winced as his fist grazed my hip. I wasn't sure how long I spent dodging Alpha Nolan's kicks and blows. By the time Nolan stopped attacking me, I was completely exhausted. While I managed to dodge some of his hits, he was way faster than the normal werewolf. My entire body ached and groaned. Alpha Nolan was absolutely lethal. He must have been good at controlling his anger, cause he had at least 35 openings to kill me. Just as I was about to leave with the rest of the group, Alpha Nolan cut me off. He stood in front of me, his arms crossed against his chest. He had slipped his shirt back on after training. Peeling my eyes away from the bulging veins on his arms, I looked into his toffee-colored eyes. "Did you learn something today, Daisy?" His rough voice was cold and almost condescending. Again, it seemed as though I had no self-control around him. My lips spoke the words before my brain had a chance to catch up. "Yeah, your nose twitches before you throw a punch," I said deadpan. I watched as flecks of gold swirled in his eyes and wondered if his wolf were close to surfacing. I could feel my heart pounding, and I don't think it was from the hours of training I just went through. "Are you purposely disobedient, or is this just something you enjoy doing?" The muscles and jaw were moving again as he gave me a strange look. "It's just one of my very attractive qualities." I shrugged and turned on my heel before I could say anything that really pissed him off. I collapsed in a heap on the couch, waking my dad from his recliner with a startled grunt. "I see training went well," he grumbled. "I see you're still alive." As if it were an achievement. "My body hurts," I groaned, flopping my head back on the couch. Alpha was Daisy's partner for the day. Sean smirked, but he also seemed relieved. "Shut up and let me suffer in silence," I grumbled, happily accepting the cookie my grandmother offered me. "Don't be late tomorrow and maybe it won't happen again." Sean smirked.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.